this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
Tax season has arrived, and doing taxes without the right help can feel overwhelming. Intuit TurboTax is here now to guide you through it with confidence. Match with a TurboTax full-service expert who handles everything for you from start to finish. Your dedicated expert checks every single deduction and credit to help you get the best possible outcome so you can feel confident you're getting every dollar you deserve. And the best part? You'll see real-time updates on your expert's progress right on your phone while you live your life. Plus, you get unlimited expert help at no extra cost, even on nights and weekends during tax season. Visit TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax full-service experts. Real-time updates only on iOS mobile app.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com. This episode of Stuff You Should Know is brought to you by GoToMeeting. We all have to meet, but the average cost of a single business trip is $1,000. With just one click, you can save time and money and have your meetings online with affordable and easy-to-use GoToMeeting. Use GoToMeeting for sales presentations, product demos, training sessions, collaborating on documents, and more. And at $49 per month for unlimited meetings, it saves time, money, and travel. Try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. Visit gotomeeting.com/stuff. That's gotomeeting.com/stuff.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. Across this vast gulf of a table in our brand new VOC heavy studio is Charles W. Chuck Bryant, right?
We're in, people. This is our brand new studio.
This is our first time recording it.
And now we got to get used to this weirdness all over again.
I know. Things just can't be normal, can they?
So now we're in weird chairs, and the table is huge. And Jerry, I can't even talk about Jerry because she's not even in the room with us anymore.
Wait, Chuck, did you just pronounce huge with the H, with the H being silent? Did you just say huge?
I've been saying human being and huge ever since I came back from New York.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay. Huge.
And Jerry isn't even in our line of vision, and I hate that.
Yeah, it's odd. Things are odd. There's like a burlap curtain.
I'm wearing headphones.
Made out of old potatoes. All right, Chuck, let's get this going, all right?
All right.
Enough griping from us.
I know, seriously.
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
I had like a great intro to this one.
Let's hear it.
But I can't remember. Oh, yes, Chuck. You know that there's a lot of finger pointing about how 9/11 was allowed to happen, right?
Is there?
There has been.
Okay.
I don't know if there is anymore.
All right.
But at first there was a lot of finger pointing, and a lot of that fell on Clinton.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because Bush is pretty new. He was a newbie still,
right?
As far as presidents go, and Clinton had been president for 2 terms.
Blame it on the previous guy. It's an American tradition.
It really is. But the thing is, Clinton's administration, Clinton's CIA, had passed along a list of high-valued targets of people in the Al-Qaeda network before the September 11th attacks ever happened. And there was a lot of talk about what to do with this list of people
right.
After September 11th. Like, say 11 a.m. on September 11th. The talk started about what to do with this list as it became clear that this was Al-Qaeda that had carried out this heinous attack, right? And one of the things that we did with it was to publish a deck of cards.
I have that deck.
Do you really?
Yeah, a friend of mine gave me that deck.
Yes. Do you remember that you could get them like at convenience stores and
yeah, sure.
American public be on the lookout for these guys and also enjoy some, Texas Hold'em with them as well.
And mine is camo on the other side.
Is it really?
Yeah, sure.
That's appropriate. But so there was a lot of talk about what to do with this list of people. We had their names. In a lot of cases, we knew where they were. And one of the ideas that was suggested was to start assassinating all of them. And that one was I think, probably fairly well entertained, but the CIA had been, as far as we know, out of practice with assassinations for a while.
Yeah, sure they have.
So instead, we decided to start stepping up a program called Extraordinary Rendition.
Right.
Right?
Which would be a great band name. As soon as I heard it.
You think everything's a great band name?
No, I'm not. Everyone thinks everything's a good band name, but not me.
No, okay. No, you're the
Just that.
exception, right?
I'm the guy who named his band El Cheapo, so sure.
I know, it's a good one.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Designer Kitty or...
What?
There was another band name recently that you liked.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, this Extraordinary Rendition program actually dated back to the Bush Senior presidency.
Right.
In January 1992, George Herbert Walker Bush signed a presidential finding authorizing extraordinary rendition, which basically is kidnapping.
Yeah, a finding, we should say, is sort of like an executive order.
Right.
It's one of those things that a president can just say, make it happen.
But it's pretty much a secret executive order.
Right.
I mean, like, its existence can be made public, but its contents aren't.
Right.
And actually, the executive order that Bush Sr. signed allowing or authorizing extraordinary rendition is still classified, right?
Yeah.
But what we know is that it was used a couple of dozen times, largely in the Clinton era, and for the most part, it was used to go into countries that harbored terrorists, kidnap the terrorists, and then bring them to American courts for trial.
Yeah, or other places.
Well, that kind of stepped up after 2001.
Right.
After Bush Jr. came into power, the CIA stopped, I guess, kind of wanting to put their faith in American courts,
right,
and risk the coin toss of an American jury,
sure,
going in favor of a terrorist.
Right.
So they started using extraordinary rendition to third-party nations. So now, not only are we kidnapping foreign nationals, we're kidnapping foreign nationals and taking them to other countries that they don't have an affiliation with.
Yeah.
So that we can basically outsource torture, interrogation, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and we should point out at this point that during this kind of rendition, this isn't the kind of rendition you want to hear if you're a detainee, because it basically means you can't, you don't have a lot of contact with the outside world, as in none.
Right.
You don't have rights to habeas corpus. You can't call your attorney and say, get me out of here on bail.
Right.
That kind of thing. It's very secret. You're abducted. I think one of the stories you listed was a guy that they set up a fake fundraiser and invited this guy to it, in order to capture him.
Yeah, after 9/11, like the world stage turned into like this plot exposition montage from a Mission Impossible movie,
right, or a Simpsons episode.
Sure, yeah. People just started disappearing, actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
And by the very the very geopolitical definition of disappearing, it was they were kidnapped by a government entity and kept out of the purview of the courts and stripped of any kind of rights, right?
Right.
So the problem is we went from using a couple of extraordinary rendition on a couple of dozen people throughout the entire 90s,
right,
to, by the New York Times estimate, at least 307 between late 2001 and 2005. That's probably a very, very low number, right? So we go from a couple of dozen in a decade to 307 and more in about 4 years. And we don't exactly know where to put these people. The CIA didn't want to bring them to the U.S. because they didn't want them to be prosecuted in American courts.
Right.
They wanted these people to lose all their rights and to disappear so that they could be kept for as long as the CIA wanted them. Right?
Until they found out what they needed.
So what they did was set up a network of secret prisons. Right? Ghost prisons, as they're called.
Yes, and they're known as ghost prisoners.
There you go.
And they are the
podcast.
Yeah, if only. Human Rights Watch, you've heard of that group. They have a list on the internet about a list of ghost prisoners, suspected ghost prisoners. And it's very long, and the CIA is always like, we don't comment on that kind of thing because those lists are probably not accurate.
Right.
That they towed the company line there.
Right.
Because the CIA couldn't say, that list is really accurate, and we do this.
The CIA, for years and years and years, after their cover was blown, would never acknowledge that there were secret prisons, right?
Well, yeah, but GW had to come clean in, 06?
In Atlanta.
Oh, was it in Atlanta?
With Sonny Perdue standing next to him.
Really?
Yeah, he acknowledged the existence of secret prisons, and it was probably, after seeing W,
Right.
it was probably just like a snafu, or he didn't mean to say it. He was probably tricked into admitting it, but he did. And so it came out that, yes, these do exist, but we don't use them any longer. And then in January of 2009, Obama, the first thing he does is shuts down the CIA secret prison network. 3 years after they stopped using it, apparently.
Well, that was on his second full day in office. He did that. But ProPublica, you've heard of them too, right?
Yes.
They say that there are dozens of ghost prisoners still unaccounted for. So it's, he says he shut them down, but they say ProPublica, all these human rights groups say that they don't know where these dudes are.
Well, the other possibility is that the secret prisons have been shut down, but those people are dead. That's kind of that was par for the course in a lot of ways for the CIA secret prisons. If you have no rights whatsoever,
sure,
if you die in custody, nobody cares.
Like, let's say,
I shouldn't say no one cares. There's no accountability for that.
Right. So, for instance, let's say you were you died of asphyxiation because you were held in a shipping container.
Yeah. Have you seen The Road to Guantanamo?
No.
It's a kind of, I guess, doc.
No, I know about it. I just haven't seen it.
It's worth seeing.
Yeah,
I want
to check it out.
It's worth seeing. But there's a scene in there that shows that these people being rounded up and shipped across Afghanistan,
right,
in a huge shipping container, and when they open the doors the next day, most of them are dead. It's gross. It's really disturbing.
Well, it's like when you get the pet turtle in the shoebox. You gotta. Mom always says, remember the holes in the top.
Yeah.
So apparently Mom wasn't around to remind them of this.
No, people weren't thinking like that.
Yeah, and the one dude froze to death?
Yeah, in the secret prison and I have to say, they had some pretty cool code names.
Yeah.
One of the first and one of the largest was codenamed Salt Pit, and it was in a brick factory, an abandoned brick factory outside of Kabul. And a junior CIA officer who was kind of new on this kind of thing ordered a detainee stripped naked and chained to the floor, and he was left overnight. And it can get pretty cold apparently in Kabul.
I guess so.
And the guy froze to death.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's entirely possible that these 24 people, and I'm surprised it's not more, but these 24 people who are unaccounted for, are dead.
Right. That's probably the case.
Yeah.
You mentioned the names. I dug up a couple of more. And I would say these are probably top 10 lists of camps you don't want to go to. But Camp Dark Prison was one.
That's a bad one.
And my favorite was Camp Bondsteel. Bondsteel.
Nice.
Camp Bondsteel.
And thank you for spelling it.
Well, it's not steel as in take, it's steel as in this is
Sure.
metal that I will beat you with.
Right. This is metal that you will live behind for the rest of your life.
So Camp Bondsteel.
If you well, let's talk about what you lose when you're in a CIA prison, the rights you lose. Traditionally, do you remember a few years ago, the whole, what are the people in Guantanamo Bay? Are they enemy combatants? Are they non-combatants?
Sure.
Are they terrorists? What kind of rights do they have?
Right.
Do they fall under the Geneva Convention? And it was largely decided by the Bush administration that no, these people didn't have Geneva Convention rights. Right. Under the purview of the Geneva Convention, the Red Cross is charged with going to visit enemy combatants and prisoners of war, on both sides, and see how they're treated. With the secret prisons, first of all, no one knew that these people had been, kidnapped.
Well, it wouldn't be a very good secret prison.
Exactly.
If the Red Cross knew about it.
Where they were, and they were denied, the Red Cross, even after the Red Cross found out that they were here, and I know you've got this guy here and we want to visit them in the secret prison, we'll be quiet. CIA's like, no, we're not letting you in.
Right.
So that kind of shook things up. That's a big deal. Sure. There's no habeas corpus.
No. And like you mentioned earlier, they would go to countries where they typically might torture people, and because the U.S. isn't allowed to, obviously, to torture.
Well, they weren't at the time.
Right.
This is before it was, we decided, we torture.
Right, but we outsourced it, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So we would, let's say, set up in, I think you said the first one was in Thailand?
Yeah.
So they were looking around. They're like, where would I go if I wanted to set up a secret prison where you might be able to torture somebody? And Thailand was like, come on over. You can set up shop here. And they outsourced it, but from what I read in your article was, you wrote this, right?
Yeah.
From what I read was the U.S. could say, like, hey, ask him about the microfilm.
Right. We would pass along questions or direction or something like that. And the last, I wrote this thing in, I can't remember, sometime in 2007, I think late 2007. And at the time, the last report I'd had of somebody being held in a secret prison was in Africa, I believe.
North Africa, yeah.
And some Americans and Canadians reported having contact with Americans in these like African prisons.
Yeah, Westerners.
Yeah.
Being held captive secretly.
Sure.
And some guy behind the curtain saying, use the dental drill.
Exactly.
Is it safe?
And he sounds like he's from Omaha. And he shouldn't, because this is, Africa. And other places, other black site host countries.
Yeah, that's what they're called, just like the black budgets and black ops. These are black sites.
Right, or ghost prisons.
So you put black in front of it, and if it's related to the government.
And there's no description, there's just like a huge budget on a line item.
Yeah, with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
That is X'd out.
That's a secret prison.
Yeah.
There are some of the other countries are Azerbaijan, Oman, Jordan, Morocco, Syria, Egypt, Algeria. All of these places were receiving prisoners. Didn't necessarily have a black site, may have, but then most of the black site countries, host countries, were Eastern European, like Lithuania and Romania.
Yeah, but once it came out, though, they would probably try to shut it down, right? Because they didn't want this to get out to the press.
Well, not only did they not want it to get out to the press, they didn't necessarily want it to get out to the president of that country. In a lot of cases, it was like the CIA, maybe a couple of, maybe the U.S. ambassador of that country, and a couple of, like, say, Bulgaria's secret police, like, high commanders. Those are the only people on the planet who knew that there was a secret prison in Bulgaria.
What are they getting out of this?
Romania. I wondered that myself too. I mean, like,
it's got to be money, right?
Sure, it would have to be, because do you really think Bulgarians are quite as amped up about American patriotism as, say, the average American is?
Yeah,
I wouldn't think so, and especially a Bulgarian secret police officer.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I would think money.
Well, what I said though a second ago is they would close, like Thailand, when the word got out that they were doing this, said, now we should close this. But it seems like every time it happened, they would just find a different country and then go set up shop there. Right.
And with Eastern Europe in particular, it was a little prickly or ticklish because, when the Washington Post broke this story, they even said in the article, like, we're not going to reveal the names of the host countries because it's so sensitive.
Right.
That these countries' governments are really going to have problems on their hands when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And indeed they did at first. But the reason why is because these were all post-Soviet bloc countries that had, adopted democracies after the fall of the Soviet Union.
Right.
And were now, involved in this horrible secret prison network.
Right.
You were talking about when word got out. Do you know how word got out?
Well, is this the Thailand one?
No.
Word got out on what then?
On, like, the existence of the secret prison network.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't a canary singing like a canary?
No, there was
stool pigeon.
Basically, it was the CIA's fault. They didn't do their legwork. They didn't do their homework.
Oh, with the manifest for the planes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what cracks me up. The CIA.
This is the funny part.
Is kidnapping people, taking them to a secret prison network that they've set up.
Right.
And yet they're honest about flight manifests.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
So there was a Swedish TV producer who basically did some, like, hard-hitting journalism. I think it was called Cold Facts was the translation of the Swedish show.
Sven Svensson.
We'll call him Sven Svensson.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And if that's not his name, I'll bet Sven Svensson is better than his real name.
Sure.
So Sven was I guess investigating the extradition of two Swedish citizens to Egypt for questioning.
Right.
They were suspected terrorists. So Sven starts looking into the plane that took them there.
Right.
And it was a Gulfstream 5.
Yeah, they charter these, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was a Gulfstream 5, and it was registered to a company, Sven found out very quickly, called Premier Executive Transport Services. And it was registered in Dedham, Massachusetts. So Sven calls Premier Executive Transport Services, leaves a message, wants to know about, why they would be transporting suspected terrorists to Egypt.
Right.
And 15 minutes later, gets a call from the Swedish intelligence service saying, stop asking questions.
Right.
And so Sven starts looking a little further and apparently finds out very quickly in very short order that there are 36 planes chartered by the CIA.
Making odd stops.
That are all, making odd stops with the nationalities of the people on board.
Uh-huh.
And they would go from, say, Afghanistan.
Yeah, this guy
to Egypt,
sure.
to Morocco, and then to Guantanamo.
Yeah, they're flying from Afghanistan to Guantanamo, but somehow they can't get a direct flight, and they stop off at 4 places along the way.
Right, and then at each stop, there's somebody whose country of origin is Oman, and
right.
they get off in Cuba.
Right. Yeah.
So it was very flimsy. All of the companies were dummy corporations that had P.O. boxes listed. And, the Swedish intelligence service basically tipped this guy off, and he blew the whistle. And
right.
I think 2004 was
and
when it really
Sven
started rolling. Yeah.
No.
Sven Svensson, R.I.P.
So these prisons, Josh, we're not saying that, these are nice guys that shouldn't be picked on. These are big time. And the one in Thailand, I think the first one, their first overnight guest was Abu Zubaydah.
Yeah.
And he was a top Al-Qaeda guy. He was captured in a shootout in Pakistan, was recovering in the hospital,
mm-hmm.
and I think he probably knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. He's in the hospital saying, I'm still not feeling that great. Maybe I should stay here a little longer. And then he recovers, and then they're like, well, why don't you come stay in our private hotel?
Was he the one that they kidnapped out of his hospital bed in Somalia?
No. They just
he
said
was in Pakistan?
Yeah, he was just recovering after a shootout, and then they brought him to the secret hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And you pointed out that he was treated well.
He was tortured and treated well.
So you said they fed him breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
And he loved Kit Kats, and they gave him Kit Kats all the time.
Did he?
I don't know. That's what I read.
Well, it said they fed him. He was treated well because they fed him baked chicken and candy bars. But what if on his little questionnaire he filled out allergic to chocolate and I hate chicken? Maybe that was part of the torture.
That's entirely possible.
I just wanted to bring that up.
There's also Chuck, a list on Mother Jones, I think.
Yeah.
Of music, the music of torture or something like that.
Metallica's high up the list. I know that.
Metallica, Rick Astley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Barney
they
song.
Rickrolled their.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Barney song at Guantanamo very loudly over and over and over again, and the Meow Mix commercial.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would do the Cook's Pest Control here locally.
Looky, here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
Yeah. The guy I mentioned, though, the Abu Zubaydah.
Yeah.
He was joined shortly thereafter by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed,
who's a high value target.
So I'm sure when he checked in to the secret hotel, the other guy was like, "Oh crap, this is not good."
What's odd is that it took us as many years as it did to start assassinating people. I think it was just in the last couple of months that news broke of some programs that the CIA was outsourcing to Z Worldwide, Blackwater,
right,
and other contractors, ex-Delta Force guys who were going into Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and assassinating Al-Qaeda leaders and other terrorist guys, right?
Uh-huh.
So I wonder why we didn't just do that at first. Instead, started. I guess we needed info.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
Oh,
we
sure.
had none. So I guess it's probably why they were like, well, we can't kill them.
Yeah, we want them
need
alive.
to know what's going on.
So we can waterboard them.
Yeah. And then 8 years later, we'll start assassinating
and give them Kit Kats.
Right.
Apparently.
So, latest news on this.
Yeah, there's some pretty recent stuff going on.
Yeah. Did you read about the Physicians for Human Rights report?
Yes.
So basically, there were physicians present at a lot of these enhanced interrogations.
And not just in an observational manner, evidently.
Well, that's what they were supposed to be there for, was to basically like, hey, you just almost drowned, so let me make sure you're still alive and breathing and in good health, right?
Yeah.
That's okay, actually, apparently, as far as the American Medical Association and international treaties are concerned.
Right.
You're allowed to do that. You're still fulfilling your purpose as a physician.
Right.
They took it a step further, right?
Yes, they did. They have a report out, Josh, called Experiments in Torture, Evidence of Human Subject Research and Experimentation in the Enhanced Interrogation Program. And from what I gather, the long and short of it is they were gathering information that could later be used to defend in court the torturers. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I think they were quantifying pain thresholds.
Right.
Like if you waterboard this guy for this long, he'll experience a pain of 8.
Right. So they were kind of writing an outline of what you can do and still get defended in a court of law.
Right, which transferred their position as physicians to researchers.
Yeah.
And it transferred the position of these detainees as patients to test subjects.
Exactly.
So they were engaging in human experimentation.
Yeah, pretty much.
And gathering data from torture, which is totally illegal.
Yeah.
But isn't everything about the Ghost Prison Network illegal?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Pretty much everything that took place as far as the CIA was concerned after 2001 was illegal. And it's not like we're little babes in the woods. It's not like the CIA's just been, on the up and up since then. But this is recent. This is going on now still, I imagine. Yeah,
there was another joint study, a 226-page report published in January of this year. And it's a joint study by there's like 4 different groups. I won't read all of them. All human rights groups.
Yeah.
And they said of particular concern to the authors, I'm going to read this verbatim, beyond the overall illegality of the entire project conceived and executed by the Bush administration is the fate of dozens of men held in secret prisons run by the CIA or transferred to CIA prisons. So they estimate, you said a couple of dozen?
You said a couple dozen, I thought.
Did I? No, they're saying that 94 prisoners had been redacted and had enhanced interrogation techniques to varying degrees performed on 28 of the 94. So this was part of the whole torture memo thing.
How is it that low? I would think it would be way more than that.
Yeah. I would too. Well, that's what they found out.
Yeah.
So who knows? It may have been more.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. America in the 21st century was a weird place. The first decade was odd.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
But Obama's trying to shut these down, and I think has for the most part.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
But I'm not saying that there's not, hinky stuff going on there too.
Definitely not. We're not naive little babes in the woods.
This episode of Stuff You Should Know is brought to you by GoToMeeting, the affordable way to meet with clients and colleagues. For your free 30-day trial, visit gotomeeting.com/stuff.
You got anything else?
No, I'm good. If you want to learn more, you can read my 2007 article, Was There a Secret CIA Prison Network? Just type in CIA and prison in the handy search bar at howstuffworks.com. And that takes us, of course, to listener mail.
No, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do just a little quickie New York recap for those of our friends who could not be there.
Dude, New York was huge.
It was odd and weird and so surreal and awesome above all else.
One of the things I learned about our fans, at least our fans in the Brooklyn area.
Yeah, sure.
They're very self-aware and self-conscious people, and that makes them highly relatable to us. So, like, the biggest question I got was, this must be very weird for you, huh?
I didn't get that much.
I got it every time.
Really?
And every time my answer was like, yeah, actually, it's really weird.
Maybe that's because you were standing there like
twitching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it a lot, and it was nice. I found it disarming.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So we, everyone knows we went to New York. We had a few media opportunities. We did a few interviews. But Monday night was when we had our happy hour
Yes.
at the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn.
With the Onion, which, dude, we couldn't have done any of this without the Onion. Thank you to Dan and Joe.
Yes.
For putting this
Huge.
stuff together.
Yes.
And just being our buds.
Yeah, that was a real treat to get to know those guys for sure.
Treat.
It was. A sincere sensation. That's
I know,
what
you
told
sound
Hodgman.
like my dad. It was a real treat, Josh.
So we have our happy hour. We get there. Tons of people show up. The fire department comes at one point because there were too many people there.
I know.
Which was so awesome.
I know.
I was like, is there something on fire? And they weren't in a hurry. They were just kind of standing around talking to people like, trying to gauge the amount of people, I think.
Yeah.
So we got to meet people. We got to hang out with people and drink a adult beverage with people. We got to meet Mark, Australian Wagga Wagga Mark.
Yeah, thanks for the koozie, bud.
Yeah, I mean, we got to meet a lot of people who, and I remembered a lot of them from
Sock
listener
Ninja
mail.
showed up on Monday.
Sock Ninja, the dude, Chris and his wife, whose wife was carjacked.
Yeah.
Chris Witt.
Yes.
He was there with his wife.
Yeah.
And they were super awesome. They were almost kind of working for us. They were helping with the T-shirts and taking photographs.
Yeah, and there was Greg, I believe.
Yeah.
He was kind of helping me too.
Uh-huh.
He was helping me like move the line along and everything.
Yeah.
There are some really genuinely cool people here.
Everybody there was super cool.
Yes, as a matter of
And
fact.
I need to say special thanks to the banjo dude. Remember him?
Yeah.
The guy with the banjo and his girlfriend. They gave us a lot of people brought gifts, and they brought me this. She made this really neat little egg where she had made a design of thread that was on the egg. Mm-hmm. It was really intricate and very cool.
Very cool.
And they also met my friend Justin and helped him out in some ways, and they were very, very cool kids.
And I can't remember her name, but there's a fan that both of us met, but I talked to her for a while.
Grundy?
And she gave us, no, not Grundy, but hey Grundy.
Yes.
She gave us a molecular gastronomy book.
Oh, yeah. She just wrote in today.
I can't remember her name, I feel bad, but thank you for it.
Yeah. It was very awesome.
So hopefully, possibly look for a molecular gastronomy podcast in the future.
And I got CDs and like
Jerk.
a lot of bands were like, hey man, listen to this.
Yes, and we have to go listen to the Large Hadron podcast.
Yes.
I have not yet, but
Right.
we need to go check them out.
And so that was Monday. So then we had our Wednesday, flash forward to Wednesday, and we had our All-Star Trivia Night at the Bell House in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And this was nuts.
Yes, we had an
Probably-
all-star team that
probably
we
like
cobbled together.
500 people or so showed up to
standing
play
room
trivia.
only, for sure.
It was
in this
crazy.
big room. It was a big venue.
It was like a concert venue.
Yes. Like I could see Styx playing there. But yeah, it was standing room only. I would say about 500 people, and we cobbled together this really awesome trivia team.
Yeah, go ahead and lower the boom there.
Okay, so we had Jackson Public, who creates this super cool cartoon called Adventure Brothers that you may be familiar with.
He was one of the head writers on The Tick.
Yes, and he was brought along by our buddy John Hodgman.
We can say our buddy.
Yeah, we can now.
I feel like he's our friend.
Yeah, he is. You can feel that way.
Right.
And I'm really glad that John brought Jackson along, because he actually saved our butts like several times
trivia?
with questions. Yeah, there would have been like 5-6 questions that we wouldn't have gotten had it not been for him.
And he was a very cool guy, to boot.
Wyatt Cenac from The Daily Show came along, another buddy.
Super cool. We actually had lunch with Ian Hodgman one day.
Yes. The esteemed Joe Randazzo, the editor-in-chief of The Onion, who, again, we couldn't have done any of this without.
Joe was awesome.
Joe was there just looking pumped, because he works out instead of smokes now. He's very intimidating. And then Ira Glass.
Yes.
Ira Glass.
The man that we stare up at in the iTunes rankings every day.
Yes.
Ira Glass was there. And
on our team. Not there to berate us. He was there on our team.
He was very cool, and I just need to say that he came up to me afterward and was blown away.
Do your impression, Chuck.
Oh, and I don't want to start impersonating Ira Glass. Your fans are amazing.
That was pretty good. That was close.
He was blown away by the enthusiasm of the Stuff You Should Know Army.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and Randazzo came up too, and he's like, man, Ira doesn't get this sort of like rock star thing much. So he was tickled to be there, I think.
Yeah.
And have people, fawning over him and telling him how much they loved him.
Yeah.
Which is something he deserves.
Yep.
And Hodgman, we mentioned John Hodgman was on our team.
Yeah.
And he was one of the funniest, quickest witted, smartest guys I've ever met in my life.
Agreed. I'm with you 100% on that one.
Like I told my buddy Scotty about that, and he said, "You're really quick though, man." I said, "Yeah, but
no, dude.
When I quickly make like a fart joke, Hodgman is that quick, but he references like an 18th century poet,
right?
And it fits, and it's funny,
right? It's like a drag racer,
yeah,
in like a 15-year-old donkey in competition in that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Same here, buddy. Yeah. I've got like the 12-year-old donkey thing going on. All right, so we had a good
everybody.
time. Thank you very much, everybody who helped that, and it was such a success, and we had such a good time that we're like, why would we spend any more time at the office? Let's go hit other cities. So, look for other cities in the very near future, and we want to know where we should go next. So, if you have a suggestion of what city, where we should go, that kind of thing, you want to play some trivia, let us know. Send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Want more How Stuff Works? Check out our blogs on the howstuffworks.com homepage. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
The NFL playoffs are here, and Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon is in full swing.
Man, it all comes down to this.
The stakes are high, hopes are higher, and everything is on the line.
My goodness!
It's win or go home, and every moment counts on the road to Super Bowl 60.
It's a touchdown!
Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon. Through Monday, visit watch.nfl.com for the full schedule.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation. One-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.